How does your work with high-level military differ with professional athletes?
Same. We treat the military guys like high-level athletes, but with less resources.
Explain.
We know they're asleep. They don't have the option of eating well all the time.
Yeah.
So my helicopter pilots come in, Apache pilots. They're just being sent out.
What pilots?
Apache pilots.
Oh, Apache. Yeah.
Apache helicopter tac.
Yep,
right?
got it.
And I'm like, are you eating yes or no? You know what I mean? Have you had water today? Yes or no? You know what I mean? Like A10, same thing. Like the amount of turnaround, guys are going to sit. So we look at them as having less option.
Yeah.
So I expect more from the professional athlete, and I expect that the military athlete, the high-end military athlete, right, the tactical athlete, is going to be more compromised because they have fewer support sources.
Military.
The military.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
Oh, dude, those guys are fucking amazing. I mean, it's just like because of 4 Hour Body. I mean, I've really realized I've had interaction with 2 groups of folks that are very different but related. One is hedge fund guys. So hedge fund guys are either like Jabba the Hutt, or they're like, I'm going to do the Ironman 3 times a year,
and they all listen to you.
And I want NZT.
Yep.
So can you make me the guy from Limitless? Or, on the other hand, you have guys who are drawn to certain aspects of 4 Hour Body, like the ultra endurance chapter, particularly, that are Navy SEALs or Rangers or military guys. And I'm just fascinated and amazed by how much those guys do on so little. Cause they're like, yeah, you know what? My advantage, like, I'm good at metabolizing garbage. So, like, I can eat anything and I can go run a fucking 50-mile run. And, like, that's what makes me superior. And it's really fascinating to see.
We've run this experiment, though. So what is best practice? And the key is, my stepfather-in-law, whatever, is a engineer.
I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go with it.
But he calls it a boundary spanner, and you're a boundary spanner. And really the problem is that we have these siloed pieces of information, and people aren't looking at best practices at the community next to them because they don't think they can relate.
Yeah.
And so suddenly, if we can relate those communities, then we can start to kind of drill down on what's best practice.
Yeah.
You know, and Dean Karnassus.
Yeah.
He's a buddy.
He's close by.
Right. Such a stud. Like, a lot of it was made of, like, the fact that he, like, ordered a pizza one time at on a run. That guy eats like a monk, and then it matters less what does he need to eat. He knows during the marathons, he knows his macronutrient combinations. He's got things that don't upset his stomach, but, boom, comes back to monkdom. So he controls what he can control when he can control it.
Yeah.
And then there's other times he makes the best decision available to him. So if that's, I haven't eaten anything, and the only thing I have available to me is like Otis Spunkmeyer muffin, you're going to eat the Otis Spunkmeyer muffin. You know? Eric Cressy said really well. He's a performance baseball coach.
Eric's cool dude.
He's cool.
He can deadlift like a motherfucker too.
He's a big, strong guy. We're homies. And he was like, look,
he's good at the shoulder mechanics.
Yes. Are you going, I'm going to give my kid pizza if that's the only thing I can fuel them with for the day. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make the best choice that I have. And if we just have people make the best choice with the tools they have, already we see.
Dude, I'm so happy you brought up Eric because, like, I remember I asked him some, like, 2-liner question about the deadlift, and I was like, my right sartorius is really bothering me because of blah, blah, blah. Like, how should I modify my sumo? And he sent me a fucking dissertation. It was like 10 pages long, and I was like, you know what? You have no idea how happy this makes me that you are so obsessive about lifting heavy shit off the floor.
The best coaches in the world are all talking. They're all talking.
Yeah.
And they're all comparing notes, and they're all showing each other all of their data and our practices. Because we all realize that ultimately the thing that matters is the programming. How many times a week do you need to deadlift? I don't know. That's up to you and your coach, but not how to deadlift and the problems. So people are really generous, and people are still stuck in Web 2.0. Yeah. I'm like, it's my secret sauce. That's bullshit. Right. 3.0 is people are like, here's my model, here's my methodology. If I have something proprietary, we understand. But I mean, the real thinkers and innovators are just as transparent as can be, which is exactly what.
Well, it's because the idea is worth next to nothing. It's the execution.
That's right.
Which is the hard part, which is worth everything.
That's right.
And if you have any confidence in yourself and your abilities, you don't have to hoard secrets. you share that. You know what I mean? And it's really the dynamic, because there's always that continuum of growth and understanding. And so, like, why do you have to create a proprietary product?
Yeah.
Give it away. There's always going to be this advancement.